Okay, hello, welcome back. We're going to have this, which is the 5D, the 5D Mark 1, yeah, from Canon. This is the first version of the 5D, and it's heavy as hell, like a tank essentially, this body, yeah. So, I do like this thing, and I'm going to show you why. So, this thing is a full frame DSLR with an EF mount, which is basically the best mount if you're gonna go for a DSLR. A mount is shit, F mount is a bit too long. Pentax case sort of only for M42 and K lenses. What else? Yeah, I'm not sure what the heck else is there. Some Fuji stuff and like that. Yeah. So EF is the best if you're gonna go for DSLRs, and this happens to have a nice full frame sensor, which is essentially the best sensor that has been made for daylight essentially. Yeah. So this thing, if you're gonna bring it to like twilight stuff or night stuff, yeah, you gotta die, man. So this thing has a max ISO of I think 3200, yeah, 3200, and that 3200 of those ISOs that you have, those 3200 or so ISOs, yeah, you can only use like 800 or 400 of them. More than that, you're gonna get shit. So after that, what you have? You have like these ports, which is like the video out and stuff. Then you have a flash sync cord and a digital plug thingy, which I use to move the files off of this guy onto my PC because I do not have a CF card reader. I only have a XQT reader for my Nikon and my SD card reader for my normal cards. So then, what can I say about this guy? It has an aperture preview button right here, which is for like stopping the lens down when you're shooting. Has this dial on the back, which is for auto, PTV, AV, M, B, and C. Those are like your shooting menus, shooting settings, I mean. Then you have a diopter for you guys that wear glasses. You can take them off properly, yeah, when you're using this thing. Unless you have like minus 300 eyes, which are like crazy heck. Then you have, let me go. So yeah, so then you can turn this guy on with this small switch. This thing has two positions, which is like on and on with a line, which I'm not sure what the fuck that thing does. So with this, you actually get like a small screen on the back, yeah, like a calculator essentially. Because these things are pretty much calculator screens. Like look at this screen over here, yeah. I have like a small cheap calculator and look at, you see? Exactly the same. Okay, next let me show you what you can do in the calculator screen. So in this screen you can see that you have a few settings. First one being light, which I just showed. You have here the battery symbol. I'm not sure what the fuck this thing is. Auto white balance. Then you have raw, because I only shoot raw. CR2 raw, yeah, this thing. Then you have like this histogram thingy. More like what you call this thing? A light meter, but I do not trust this thing if you're in auto. So if you're in auto, I mean like P, yeah, then you put like something like this thing, yeah, a Takuma 51.4 and 1.8. I mean 55 1.8 this guy. Put this thing on, put it in auto, shoot it, it's gonna be overexposed. So what I recommend you do is, if you're doing this, switch it to manual and follow the light meter. Because in auto, in P, somehow this thing does not want to work with manual lenses in like exposing. This thing always overexposes by like 2 or 3 stops with manual lenses. I think 2 stops, but yeah. So the light meter is okay, but I think it's something to do with it thinking there's a lens on, and somehow there's no lens, so it can't stop down and P mode. So yeah, then what else can I do? ISO, this sets the ISO, so you can use the rear dial to twist this thing and set the ISO. Then you also have drive here, yeah. So drive / ISO, this is drive. Now it's in single shot, you can set this thing to multi-shot and timer, and that's single shot again. Then you can also set this thingy, which is some dot thingy, yeah, and this, which I'm not sure what the heck this thing does. So, because if you set the value over here at the EV and you exit out, it's gonna be the same EV, it's gonna be the 0. So that's quite shit. Then you have the shutter button. This thing is like this Sony A7S, where you have like you press it and there's no tactile feedback until you hit the bottom. So press it halfway until you see the VF has like these light meter readings on the bottom, yeah. That's when you know you're at halfway. Then you press it fully to actually shoot the shot. And then what else do you have? Let me go show you. You have autofocus. If it's not in manual, it is in auto. Let's see. See? So it's quite fast actually for me, because I usually use manual focus. I do not understand how fast autofocus should be, but I do feel like that is quite fast. So then let us focus back down with this guy. And then now let me show you the display. Display while this thing's on is practically dead. It's useless because you're not gonna be needing that thing for shooting at all, and that's why it's off. Also, you have these things which are for viewing photos. I'm not sure what the fuck this thing does, yeah, but you have like menu over here, yeah. Then you can see the menus right here. Okay, and you can go to info. For some reason you have info, yeah, which is useless. You have jump, which is for menu. You can jump to like other bits. So it's red, blue and yellow. You can jump between them. Then you have this playback button right here. This is one with the one photo from the Tokina 17mm f3.5. You have also this rubbish button, which is quite hard to press, but there you go. You can erase this guy if you want to, but yeah, I've just erased that guy. Fuck. Okay, then you can also zoom in and zoom out. Then you can also use what else? Use this thing to set your AF point. This like trackball thing. Let me turn this thing off first, yeah. You can use this trackball, like you can push it up and down, like on the Nikon Z6 that I have right here. You can use it to set your AF point, which is really smart. And I think that comes to the end of the camera. Oh, yeah. Not yet. So because this is a DSLR, has no video, has no live view. Your battery is gonna be really long on this thing. This thing's at near 20. No, it's near 20. Yeah, it's not 20 yet. It's like 2004. Now it's 2021. And that means it is 17 years old. Yeah, same age as me. And so this is quite an awesome piece of kit, being that it hasn't broken down. The VF is actually quite nice, to be honest, yeah, because you can probably not fucking see it, but it is quite nice. Then what else can I say? The battery on this thing is pretty much a Z6 battery, man. The Nikon Z6. Like if you pull this battery out, yeah. And this is a Nikon Z6 battery. I got two because I got like a promo code for the Nikon. And then look at this, yeah, they're like the same fucking size, man. See? So yeah, I think you can actually swap the insides. These things are probably like some generic cells and they put them in. So if the battery dies, you can probably like split the battery and put some new cells in. I probably gotta do that once my Nikon batteries die, but I have two, yeah. So this is one, like a spare one, and there's one in the camera right now, filming. So that's it. Also the charger charges faster than the Nikon charger, which is quite fucked up, I'd say. This is a 7.4 volt 1390 mAh. This Nikon is 7.0 volt 1900 mAh. So this thing is a lower voltage, but it's a higher capacity in a slightly smaller form factor, which is interesting. But yeah, so you can probably swap cells and stuff like that. And this guy also uses a CF card, which is vintage to the dinosaur era, man. So these things are essentially hard disks, I think, yeah. Like, I mean, there used to be hard disks, like the 1.8mm hard disk, and you're actually supposed to, like, let me put this thing in MF. Okay, then put it back to the AF. Then this guy, I see, push it down. Then you gotta like pull this up, but this is actually easier to pull out than XQD cards, and they charge like fucking expensive for XQD cards, man. These things cost like 100,000 rupiah for 2 gigs, which is like let's see, 2 divided by 150, yeah, 50 per gigabyte. For XQD cards, Nikon sells them, I mean Sony sells them for 2.8 million. 2800000 divided by 64 equals to 43,000. So these are pretty much almost the same cost as like XQD fucking cards, man. So for you guys that are saying that CF card is awesome, fuck off. These things use pins. Look at this. Where are they? There you go, see? They use pins. how do you think you're not gonna mess this up? You will eventually, which is to me quite a downside, yeah. But so what? My CF card's always in the camera, anyways, and so where's the arrow, man? I'm not sure how the fuck you put this thing in. I think that was correct, man. So let's push this thing in again. Yeah, nice. So, who is this camera for? If you're someone that likes to take photos of your private life, even for work, I think you can use one. Yeah, if you get like a nice example. This guy's quite beat up, but it still works quite well. Beat up, I mean in the paint, yeah, not in the mechanics. The mechanics are quite nice. The shutter has like a small, like, which I think wear mark in the middle, but only a very small like edge, not like a huge scratch or something like that. So I think this thing has a lot of time left on its shutter, and the battery also still lasts quite a long time, so why not? This thing I can use myself, I can sell off, and yeah, I feel like this is quite a nice camera for me, and probably for you who is watching this video thinking about buying one. What to be careful about? Be careful about units that have not gotten their shutter service, I mean the mirror service. I think this is not very relevant for 2021 and onwards, because if the mirror is gonna fall off, it either will, because you bought a new unit which has been in the box for like 20 years, or you're gonna be seeing a unit that has the mirror fall off. I mean the mirror is not stuck, like it's doing this or something like that, yeah. Or the mirror has been serviced by someone else or Canon themselves. Because 20 years, man, if it's gonna fall off, it's probably gonna fall. I mean, if it's gonna fall off, it's probably, I mean, fuck, how do I explain this? If it is gonna fall off, it's probably fallen off before this day in time. Because 17 years, man, nearly 20 years. Digital camera and still working. My mirror is perfect, but if you do have a shit mirror, then I would suggest you go away from one, because if you have a shit mirror, you're probably gonna either have to repair the mirror or probably deal with shit focus, because if you stick a mirror on, yeah, the mirror will be like sometimes at some off angle, which means that your focus is not gonna be perfect. And having a focus point not be perfect is fuck if you're using manual lenses. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Canon 5D. Hopefully you like this video. I'm gonna go detail this guy and prepare it for sale, because I have quite a bit of like a shortage of space in my tripod box. I have a Nikon T, I have a Nikon Z6, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to let this guy go ASAP. If you wanna buy one and you're in Indonesia, go hit me up, because this thing is gonna be for sale soon, probably even before the video's up. So yeah, thank you and goodbye.